Live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective with a very special guest, Donna, otherwise known as the DM. Welcome, Donna. Tell everybody about yourself.
I'm Donna, DM, and I mod for about, I don't know, 25, 30
500
channels.
channels.
Yeah, 25, 30. Um, I am with
History B.
History
Hey there.
B. Yes, I am with History B on Saturday nights in the DMB report. Please come and see us.
Yeah,
I
it's
just,
a lot of fun.
yeah, we try to bring positive news rather than all the negative stuff because everybody else does that. So we leave that to them, and we do try to give some fun stuff at the end of the week. That's a lot of fun. Um, I actually used to be a Democrat, so I grew up in Massachusetts. Everybody was a Democrat, and look at that place now. Um,
Yeah,
but I moved to Florida, and in Florida, you know, but in Florida, you can't vote in the primaries if you're well, you can't. I mean, you can't vote for like a Republican if you're a Democrat. So
right. And that needs to change.
I wish it would, yeah. So anyway, I had become an independent because I really didn't want to be a Democrat anymore. And then once Trump ran, I was like, oh my God, no, 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 no. So I went and actually changed to Republican in time so I could vote um, for him in the I needed to get him through we needed to get him through the primary. So I went and changed it and gonna probably stay that way for a while by the looks of things. So that's my little
Yeah.
story.
I've always been a lifelong independent, and we had Matt Gates running up here, and it was a pretty vicious race with a woman that was doing a lot of lies and stuff. So I I went ahead and signed up to be a Republican so I could vote in his primary, and then also for the governor.
He's
But
awesome.
I don't. Oh yeah, I like him, but I don't particularly like being party affiliation because
Yeah,
I'm
well,
I'm
that's
one of
why I
these
went.
that argues that. Go ahead.
Oh, that's why I changed my. I didn't want to be affiliated with one, and the only reason I changed it was because I wanted to vote for Trump.
Yeah. Well, I look at DC as a toilet, and they all sit around the toilet with spoons, and it's one party on one side and one on the other, and they're all feeding you the same stuff.
Yeah,
But it's not how I usually say it, but that's
yeah.
exactly how it is.
You can
So,
say crap. Come on.
uh, oh yes, fecal matter.
There you go.
We got Jervis, we got Flat Earth Forums, History Bee,
Got
Patty.
Fred,
Hey everybody, good to
Amy.
see you. Amy the mod in there,
Yeah,
and Fred's hanging out. Wow,
Patty.
it's
Patty.
I'm.
Hi, Patty. Hi,
Don't you
Flat
guys
Earth.
realize there's a presidential
Ancient
debate
drummer.
going on right now?
Lioness 61.
Okay, yeah, I see. Linus 61 Turner. Hello.
Oh,
Um, you
uh,
ready for me to throw an article at you?
sure. Go
This is
ahead.
how we play this game. All right, let's cue the music. I don't have any. Um, let's see. Now it's zoomed in too much. Oh, okay. Let's hit this one at you. Israel will not let U.S. Congresswomen visit. Deputy Foreign Minister claims. That is Rashida Tlaib and Iham Umar. What do you think of that?
I am so happy. You don't know. I don't think he should. And they actually, if you go into his, I think it's his Twitter, or yeah, I think it was on his Twitter. I happened to read something from him, and it was like it had to be a thread because it was so long. But he explains why he didn't let them come because basically they hate Israel, and you don't let your enemies come into your, you know, so I
Right,
have no pro. I thought that was the best. I was hoping all along. I'm like, why is this a question? That was my thing. Why is this a question at all?
right. Well, I've got 12B Georgia joined us in here, and Michelle from Pro Life American 45 Saving Lives. Oh, that name could have been a little bit longer, Michelle, and then we'd run out of breath completely. Just kidding. No, we know we love you, but yeah, I had one thought on that situation with Rashida Tlaib and Kham Omar. Is these are state officials. They would go in there with a level of diplomatic immunity, and they would be taken into the deepest, darkest halls of the legislature within Israel if they went to visit their chambers or whatever. So if they are truly enemies of Israel, then that would be like walking the general from the other side into your CO's tent and sitting down with him and showing him the maps and everything and talking to him about what you're going to do. You don't want to get people that hate you surrounded by the people that make the decisions in your country.
Right.
So that's my thought on it.
Exactly. I was very, very, very happy to hear that. So, um,
Yeah, I was too. Well,
although,
here's another one.
all right, well, wait,
No, go ahead.
wait a minute, because after he denied her, he said, nonetheless, if Congresswoman Tlaib submits a humanitarian request to visit her relatives, the Minister of Interior has announced that he will consider her request on the condition that she pledges not to act to promote boycotts against Israel during her visit. Now that depresses me.
Yeah, well, she's already talking about that boycott stuff. That whole thing is stupid. Every time you do something to the liberals or the lefties that they don't like, they want to boycott. But what they're not realizing is that they're taking these conservative companies when they boycott them, they're sending their profits into the stratosphere, like that barbecue joint owned by
Right,
one of the people that was doxxed by Castro.
right.
They had a line all the way around the block to come to their restaurant. So that's the kind of thing you get when the liberals say boycott.
Hmm. Well, and
But
that was it was
okay,
right
you're
on it was right on her itinerary that that's what she planned to do. So,
well. Well, it's just they're complete idiots. I would say that they were complete, except I think they have parts missing, so they're really not complete idiots. They're just straight up idiots. But anyway, so let's hit this one. This one, I want to be an equal opportunity basher when it's necessary. So in this one, Republican Congressman Steve King, would humanity exist without rape and incest?
yeah, I don't even
I
know
know,
what to say to that.
I know.
I'm like, I wrote,
Okay.
yes, B, he's walking around. I saw that actually, and I actually put at Jack, who runs Twitter. Why is this still here? Why? I
Yeah,
just don't get it. I don't get it. And that's a
yeah.
Republican.
I can't really say much about that, but
I don't know
that
what.
one is just.
Yeah, I don't know what prompted that. I don't know why that came out. I was just like, what? Oh my god.
Well, Iowa picked a winner with him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not.
Well,
I
see,
guess
that's the
he's not
problem.
shy to say something stupid.
Yeah, well, obviously. Well, that's the problem. We're all voting red, and sometimes you get a really like you don't get good candidates even, but you're still trying to get the best of the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like I have Rubio.
Right.
Believe me, when he comes up, I hope there better be somebody running against him because I'm not voting for him.
Yeah, Rubio is a problem.
Yep.
I would help his primary candidate if I was in that district.
Yep.
So I mean that's just the way that works. But anyway, I can't say much more about King because
No.
that one kind of pissed me off anyway. But
Yeah.
this one is kind of amusing. We got Senator Chuck Schumer,
Yeah.
Senate Democrats asked Trump to shift wall money to gun measures, and specifically for the measure of the CDC looking into gun violence and white supremacy as an epidemic. Take it away, Donna.
Yeah. Well, Schumer is not on the. He's on the bottom of my list there with Pelosi. So. Um, yeah, they're trying to push it all. I mean, he's trying to. I mean, you can tell with his tweet about Cuomo that he's trying to push it back in their face that yeah, your laws are gonna are ridiculous because you're gonna everybody like Cuomo would not have any weapons because he'd be a crazy person, based on their
Yeah.
thing. So I'm not sure where he's going with this. I mean, I look to me following him all this time and knowing his humor and knowing how he works, he's always ahead of them. I think that he's trying to make it so absurd. That's what he was trying to do, but who knows? We're going to have to wait and
Well,
see.
what it is with Schumer, it's an absolute underhanded grab to try to take the money away from building the wall.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he's It's just his ridiculous attempt. Propus popped in here, and I see
Hey,
Ancient
Propus.
Drummer joined us.
Propus is from Sweden.
So, oh, cool,
Yeah,
Sweden. My father is Icelandic.
he's an old time
Uh,
friend.
well, that's funny. I just got a missed call on Skype. I had no idea who it was.
Someone's trying to get on. Someone's trying to call in.
Yeah, let me in, let me in. But anyway, okay, so let's these one-liners. They tried again. Um, let's see. I want to. There's a couple of them I wanted to. Okay, brace yourself. This one's going to sting. California school district
Wow.
will force students into LGBTQ lessons.
California is hell.
All right.
That's all there is to it. I don't know what else to say about. Every day there's something about California. I like people are like, we don't want to lose that land. I'm like, no, forget it. Put the wall, like make it go right around like the whole West Coast.
Uh-oh.
I get a lot of these articles
Give us
because
a minute. We'll be back. Um, victims of country living in Florida weather. So just, I think you'll probably have our audio still, but uh, we'll be back up in a second.
you're fine you're fine on YouTube. I'm watching YouTube. Oh, now you're gone. No, it doesn't surprise me at all, Patty. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's like every single day. Yeah, he's having weather problems, he said. My day was great. I rushed home to get on here. Hi, Chris Link. Hi, Philip. I don't know what he was doing, so I don't know what I could keep going, but I don't know what he was doing. So it was all a surprise. So I have to wait for him to get back in here. I know there's a rally right now. Yeah, no, it's just the Donna show. Great. It'd be okay if I was prepared with something. No, I have not gotten my straws. I got my Team Joe and my Team Jim shirts, but I did not get my straws. And I once ordered a Trump Lego keychain, which I never got from them either. So, but I've gotten plenty of things from them too. So I guess it's hit or miss. Oh, I don't know where she is. I'd have to leave and go find her. I have my spray bottle though because. Oh no, she's right behind me. Come here. Come here. All right, you gotta say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Everybody can look at you. No, you look at them. Look. See, now my dog's jealous. She just wants to play. She's still tiny, pretty tiny. Thank you, Philip. I think we lost Alex. Alex, where are you? And if you can hear my dog, he's playing with the cat. Yeah, he's playing with the cat. You can see them behind me. They're playing. Yes, it's a shawl. Yeah, it's a little like shawl thing. You know where we got the shirt. You have the same shirt, B, at Tiger World. Hi, Ashley. Yes, Gia is cute. Thank you, Jervis. Of course, Linus. Yeah, he's a 97-pound Labradoodle who's playing with the cat. Okay, Alex, I'm waiting. He said he had storms coming over, so we get them here earlier in the day. Like mine are usually between 1 and 5. He gets them later in the afternoon, so I am never singing a song history. I do not sing even to myself. Yeah, Alex says, please talk among yourselves. No, I wasn't ready for a cat. I did not want a cat. The cat came to me. Yes, Philip, but now she can Talib can protest it, or like she can file for a exemption because she has family there, I guess. So that's not good. No singing, Fred. No singing. All right, I can share this because I can share it. I think I can share it. Oh, I think I can share something here. I don't know if it'll work though. Let me see if I can.
And we're back.
Oh,
Did
we're
you
back!
miss
Yay!
me?
Yes, I certainly
Ah,
did.
what the hell do I do now?
I was gonna show a video. I was gonna try to show a Chick-fil-A video. They were singing to a lady who was gonna have cancer that had cancer.
Don't worry. By now, you'd probably have done my show better than I would. So
No, no, no,
I'm just
no.
glad I could get back on here. I was like, oh crap. Oh, sits there and it's streaming along just fine, and all of a sudden the screen goes black and get a message. Can't find the internet.
Thank
Did
you,
you
Fred.
plug in your internet this morning? Okay, where were we? We were talking about LGBTQ
Yeah, we were telling how
classes.
we would like to just cut off California and let it sink into the ground, but there are a lot of
Well, there are so
conservatives there.
many.
I know there's a lot of conservatives
Right.
there. Hi,
I
Nick.
think the conservatives there actually outnumber the liberals, but the problem is the liberals own the voting systems. They own the state and local
There's so
positions.
much
So
corruption there. So much corruption.
yeah, I mean, how do you fight against that when they own all of the big interests? I mean, they own the media, they own the governorship. There are three families. I think it's six bloodlines that actually control the West Coast. But
Yep. And plus,
Moonbeam Brown's sister is the governor of Oregon,
of
and
Queens,
the mayor or the governor of California is the nephew of Nancy Pelosi.
right?
So they keep it real close and
Yeah.
personal with each other.
Plus, I think all their ports are like owned by Chinese, so they're all Chinese ports. So that's all
Right.
corruption there. I noticed it the first time I really noticed it in voting. I was paying attention was the 2018, and Dianne Feinstein had 1 million votes with like 5% in already, and I'm like, what? Like they had her already
Yeah, that
won. They
I
had her
caught that
already
too.
winning with it with only 5% in, and she had like a ton of votes. And I'm like, how is that possible? So,
Yeah. I wanted to just touch base on CNN for a minute,
oh
um,
god,
just
yeah,
because I know it's ridiculous, but there are three prominent figures of CNN that have all been in the news in the last week, and my concern is, I mean, I'm not concerned. I'd like to see them be collapsed and closed, but these people are getting psychotic because the doors are closing in on them. Hey, Nick Burns is here. Hey, welcome. But I've Philip Turner too. Good to see you. I see as the crimes are getting closer to open indictment, these people are getting psychotic. That dog is so cute. It distracts me. I can't. I
Sorry.
just can't look.
I should have shut the door and left them. They're both like
No,
right
he's.
at my feet here. The cat's crawling around my feet. The dog is behind me, and they're playing on top of that. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just kidding because I've got my 100-pound beast on my right foot, which I cannot
Oh
feel
my
from the knee
god.
down at this moment. So my little dog got tired of sitting with me and he jumped off. So I'm all alone now except for the numb foot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you have Como that has decided that Fredo is a racist slur, and even though it's just the name of a character in a movie. So you've got him threatening to throw somebody down the steps. And it turns out this guy, his wife, and Ghislaine Maxwell were close.
Cuomo's
So,
wife? I didn't know that.
yep.
That's a new piece of information. Well, okay, I'm
Yeah, that I found
Italian.
out.
I'm Italian, and Fredo isn't an ethnic or racial slur or whatever he called it. Now, if you'd called him like a WAP or a Dago or a
Like
Guido,
Guinea or, yeah.
maybe, yeah. And
I
it's
mean,
funny because when my grandfather came from Italy, so they were very Italian, and they used to sit around with their friends who were Polish and call them, Polacks, and it was just something you did. It wasn't insulting. It wasn't anything. He's just ridiculous. That's a character. It's not even a real person. He didn't even
right.
say what it meant to him. Like, what did that mean? Why was that a slur to him? You know.
Well, that's what I say. I just think that they're kind of losing their minds. I noticed Lee jumped in here. Good to see you. And
I mean,
R-rated conservative. Lee's in here. Ashley, good to see you. R-rated conservative. What's up, brother? I want to talk to you about collaboration efforts. So as soon as we can get our emails to actually ignite, that would be something cool to do. Um, yeah, there's computers. I keep saying it all the time. Computers are evil. When we all get to the point where we understand that computers are evil, life will reach euphoria again. But
I
until that
think
time,
so.
we got to keep dealing with it.
Truth
Truthification
not,
Chronicles. Good to see you, brother.
truth, not fiction matters.
That's it. I know I think of it. I've got two of them that sound the same. Truth not fiction matters. If at first you don't succeed, please try and read. Uh, Old Matthew, I met him over in
Exactly right, girl.
Pensacola.
Exactly. Same as I
He's
am.
a good guy. I enjoyed the opportunity to hang out with him for a little bit. Anyway, so that is Como. He's in panic mode, and then you got Lemonade. Uh, I don't know how to talk about this subject other than it's just disgusting. I would have. Um, anyway, Donna, what do you think?
Well, I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Oh God, that means I got to tell you.
Oh.
Okay, he was at a bar. The guy offered to buy him a drink. He said no. Well, later he approaches the guy in the bar and he sticks his hand down his shorts and scrubs his junk,
Oh,
and then
I
he
didn't.
takes
Oh,
his
okay,
fingers
okay, 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 okay. I did
and
hear that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, number one, that guy probably can sue him. I'm sure. That's
well,
like,
I'm quite sure.
yeah, that's like, I don't know what that actually, what that actually would be, but
Well, I did a video about it, and I actually had to shoot the video more than once because it made me so angry. I lost my
right,
Langostino and I
right,
had to correct it. But here's the reality: if it turns out that Lemon has a venereal disease, I mean, maybe
or
he does, maybe
anything.
he
It
doesn't.
doesn't matter.
We
Anything.
don't know, right? But what if it was? What if he had herpes? What if he had crabs? The
Right.
clap.
Yeah.
Um,
It's disgusting.
that puts it into criminal
Yes.
sexual battery
Yeah.
because of just the threat behind it.
Mhm.
And you know, personally, I don't think he'd ever have to worry about using that hand again if he did that to me. I'd break it off at the neck, and he'd never have to see it again. But for the man to stand there and take that and then say, "Okay, I'm just going to sue him," that more power to him. But anyway, that one just really gets me because that dude he would walk with a limp from here through the rest of his days. But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
there's another one.
That's basically,
No,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, he's lucky that guy didn't do something to him. You're right. I don't know. They just keep getting. It's like they keep getting crazier and crazier every day. I don't understand. It's like they're have no brains anymore. I don't know. They're like they're controlled by mind controlled or something because nothing they do makes sense anymore. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's like how much can I
Well,
get
like
away with? It's really like how much can I get away with?
Linda Horner says, I'm Italian as well. Never heard it used before because it hasn't been.
No, it's never been used.
No problem. Just real spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, don't say stuff like that in my chat. Real spaghetti and meatballs. I am, now get this right here. I am half Viking. My father was a Viking. He's Icelandic. He goes back to Eric the Red. My mother is an Apache. She's got some Blackfooter in her, but we just found out that her great great grandfather was Geronimo. So we've got confirmation. And here I am, half seaman and half landsman, and I like Italian food probably more than anything else. I think I'm broken.
I think a lot of people like Italian food that aren't Italian.
Okay. Well, as long as it's not just me, I was really concerned. But oh man, I can hurt myself on pizza and cannolis and spaghetti. Get out of here. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe you have some Italian genes in there you don't know about.
Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, we kind of get spread out a little bit on my mother's side after the Apache. But anyway, so the other reporter, she's a reporter. She's the one that's always, she was giving Sarah Sanders a hard time all the time. She sits
April
right in the
Ryan.
middle. That's the one.
Yes.
Well, she was doing a town hall and she had a reporter kicked out. I mean, like physically kicked out for no reason. Because I guess the reporter, she was doing a town hall or she was a public forum, something. She was the speaker. But
April
anyway,
Ryan
they asked her a question. Well, I'm thinking is she the heavyset black female?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's who it was. Anyway, so she had this person kicked out because they asked her a question about Trump. Well, then it turns out after the person got kicked out that it was an uber lefty reporter that she kicked out.
Yeah.
So they are eating their young.
Wow. Well, she's been really quiet lately, so this must be her way to get
Well, they're not doing press briefings anymore.
I do see a tweet about it, and it says April Ryan, and she said, "I need a bodyguard because Trump has made journalists unsafe."
No, journalists have made journalists unsafe.
Yeah.
When you insult half the country and you call them names and you tell them that they are the scourge of the earth, then you're going to make some enemies. That's sort of an automatic.
Well, I guess her bodyguard roughed up that reporter too.
Yeah, dragged them out. But here's my thing. I'm no spring chicken anymore, and I'm no Bruce Lee. I am a martial artist. I'm familiar. I have trained, and I've done combat training. But it seems to me that these people look for soft targets. For the intimidation factor, maybe it's part of their propaganda to make it look like the conservatives are soft and weak and that they won't confront them. But in the back of my mind, I just halfway wish one of them would try my broken ass and let me have an opportunity to discuss it with them, because they're going after these people that just don't have the fight in them. They won't go after somebody who is capable and quite willing to meet them on their terms. So that's just frustrating. I hear the dog. Whoa.
He's playing with the cat. Of course, this is when they've decided it's time to play.
As long as he doesn't eat him. But anyway, so that was my rant on that. But
yeah,
let's see if I can.
Every day they're just doing themselves in. So
yeah. Let's see. The presidential rally is going on tonight. We are head to head with it. That takes some serious stones. Let's see. I'm trying to I lost one of my pages with a dump of my internet. When I came back up, I didn't get all my pages open, so I'm a little scattered at the moment, but I'm getting coordinated. Um, okay, well, Bruce Orr gave his wife's fusion GPS research to the FBI. Uh, they they were working back and forth to. We know that looking back on some of the information, we found out that Nellie Orr was very likely one of the co-authors of the dossier. But she and her husband were pitching it back and forth and running it through the FBI and running it through the media so that they could keep it in a loop, so they could keep referring to the media as that document as evidence. So, what is your thought on that part of the thing with this, with all this information coming up?
I really wish that they have all the information. I believe that, and they have all the indictments. And I have been patient because I understand that they can't just go after the big people because they'll get off. They have too much money. They have great lawyers. I mean, they may never be indicted anyway, but their whole thing is they're smart. They're doing a plan where they're getting all the little people first and all the people that will sing like canaries first. So you're going to the
Right,
lowest, highest is what they're doing. I did hear today rumors that there was some D classes coming out about Hillary, so that it may already be out or something. I have to go look into that, but I did see somebody post that, so I have to go look. I did not find anything yet, but I wasn't really looking either. So, but they had to go after all the little people first, and then they got to find out who's going to talk. That's what can they offer these little people so that they'll spill the beans, so they can get more and more. They got to get a solid case. We all know it, but they need a solid case against the bigger people because otherwise they're just going to walk anyway. And then
right. Well, it's like
all
taking down a bridge.
yeah, and all the brainwashed
When
people, all the brainwashed people are going to just still think it's us. That they just tried to get him and they couldn't.
Well, one by one, all of the conspiracy theories are being found to be truth, and all of the propaganda that they've been claiming is truth has been proven to be the conspiracy. So all the tables are turning on them. But I understand the taking out the little guys, because if you want to take out a bridge, you got to take out the superstructure so that nobody can cross it again. So that means you take out the support groups, and then the top will fall, and the escape is impossible.
Yeah, I know,
So
and it
I
just
get
seems
that part of it, but
yeah. It just seems like everyone's getting wary of waiting. Like they thought he was going to come in and do all this stuff. It takes a long time to drain the swamp. People forget if they go and look into things, and there is lists out there that tell you how many people were fired, retired, just huge CEOs, businesses, senators, congressmen, all these people. There is a huge list of people that have left. So people think
right.
he's leaving just because the ones with the big mouths are still here doing stupid crap. But
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the media burying stories, and then they got them directing people to look over there at that. Don't pay attention to the one behind the curtain. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But let me see if I can get one of my pages back here a second. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves again. I'll be right there. I lost Politico. It had a couple of really good articles. That's the one that didn't come back up when my internet turned back on. And okay. Okay, the Democrats blasted the decision and warned it would hurt the U.S.-Israeli relations if they don't allow it to leave. And anyway, whatever. I'm getting to the point where every time the Democrats say something, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Just like my daughter used to do when she was growing up. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
oh yeah, the Jerry Nadler, the Weeble Wobble, the Weebles wobble but they don't fall down. Um,
Humpty Dumpty.
He is, yeah, he's acting like he wants to take control and power away from the Supreme Court. He's talking about subpoenaing the Kavanaugh, and
Yeah,
he's talking like he can personally completely restructure the Supreme Court if they don't do what he tells them to do. What
really.
the hell is that?
He's just a lot of hot air. That's what he is.
Oh, it's a lot of hot
He
air.
he's so mad that that Trump won court cases against him in New York over real estate and stuff like that business when he was in New York, and he's just that is it. He's just so hurt by that he has like such a hatred for Trump. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it goes way back.
Yeah,
There was a land agreement in New York between the
right.
two of them. Trump actually bought the land, and Nadler tried to block permits and things like that because he wanted the land. So he tried to bankrupt Trump on that piece of property so that it would be taken back to auction and then he could buy it again. So it was a personal vendetta. And when he lost again, because Trump was patient, I mean, he lost money on this property apparently for over 10 years because of Nadler. And he was patient. And now obviously he's gotten all that money back and then some. But Nadler didn't like the loss. So, it
Yeah.
is a vendetta.
Oh, that's all,
Um,
and anybody can see that. It's ridiculous. He
yeah.
shouldn't even be allowed. He shouldn't even be allowed to do whatever he does because he has broken rules. He's done all kinds of things, and I'm sure there is so much in his closet. And I'm sure
Oh, absolutely.
Trump's just waiting for it to come out. It'll come out.
Yeah. The thing is, they seem to run around with no risk of consequence. I know that when they write bills in Congress, one thing they like to do is exempt themselves from those bills. So I think people can look that up and see quite a bit of that, where
Mhm.
they will pass something and then immediately exempt all members of Congress and the House from it. So they protect themselves from laws by making sure they're exempt from those
That
laws
shouldn't
in
be
their own
allowed.
writings.
That shouldn't be allowed. If you make a law, it's for
No, it
all.
shouldn't be.
It should be for all United States citizens. Um, That's what it should be.
Well, also they
Anybody that's in the United States.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing is when they vote themselves a raise, they usually vote themselves twice the national average of inflationary uh, expense. So when they vote themselves a raise, if we that are on public assistance or disability, we get about 2 to 2.5% a year for a cost of living increase, but the cost of
Yeah,
living itself is running at about 3.5%.
exactly.
But Congress gives themselves a minimum of a 4% and usually a 6% raise. So twice the national average of inflation that they're giving themselves in raises.
Term limits. Term limits.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
I don't,
not just term limits.
they want
No, go ahead.
They want Trump's taxes. I think they should all have to provide their taxes in order to have that job every year.
Well, I think every 2 years. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
whatever they're running for. Yeah, whatever their thing is. Yeah.
But
I want to know where they make all
if
this
we
money.
did,
They should have to prove it. They should have to prove where all this money comes from because they go in with no money and they leave with millions and billions of dollars.
multi, and
Yeah.
well, several times I've mentioned in my other videos about government mandated racketeering, and everything that is set up by the government is designed for public official racketeering. The most prevalent example is Planned Parenthood, when the government is mandated to give Planned Parenthood $500 million a year. In return, Planned Parenthood does a kickback of about $50 million a year in campaign donations and um, what do they call those? The not-for-profit companies of these
Right.
Democrats. So that is
They're
racketeering. The
yeah,
government gives
they're
money.
actually laundering money is what they're doing. They're taking
Right.
government money and turning it around and putting it back into the Democratic campaigns.
and that's exactly what they do with foreign aid as well. The foreign aid is kicked to the leaders of their choice, and as a nice little bonus, the leaders of their choice give them a nice little sprinkling of money back again. So it's already off the books because it's been donated to a country, and whatever they do with it in their country is their business. But then they take a nice little handful of that and send it back to the lawmakers that help to get them that foreign aid. So there's a lot of it. The racketeering is incredible that's being done in our political system. But let's see. This Politico, most of the ads on here, or most of the articles on here are designed as Trumpia questions or whatever. But here's one that I've found interesting. Harry Reid calls for the abolishment of the filibuster, and I thought that Harry Reid was gone,
I thought he was gone too.
but he coordinated go after President Trump.
Oh yeah, well they got a
So
whole bunch of people coordinated. They've got it. They've got all kinds of people trying to get rid of him. So all kinds of committees, and they even have all now. They have the Hollywood. They're getting a campaign together to get rid of Trump. It's just crazy. It's
yeah,
because they all he knows all of them. That's why he knows all their secrets, and they do not want him there. He is ruining
right. When you're on the inside,
he's ruining all their plans for all this illegal money and all this other stuff. So he's ruining it.
yeah. Then it's interesting that when actors in the past have said how Hollywood is, everybody's just like, oh, whatever. And now, the closer we get to this industrial elbow drop of indictments, the more you hear this information from people that are not in Hollywood, that are on prosecution teams and things. So, plus, did you hear that they found human remains of small people at the Lolita Island,
Oh no, I
Little
did not
St.
hear that.
James?
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah, they're using a ground penetrating radar system from Russia.
Well,
The Russians agreed to let them use it because it's more sophisticated than ours. It can reach deeper, and it gives you more of a multi-dimensional view of the objects underground. So they found skeletal remains of children in the ground and in the water below the temple. And there's
well,
apparently it's the equivalent of a garbage chute underneath the
yeah.
temple that they would just put these bodies in.
Supposedly they had all these underground tunnels and rooms and stuff, and from the pictures that they had from that I forget what her name is, handler. Um, she had a bunch of pictures and like almost like videos, and they looked like they were going down into and there was a lot of it looks like there was a lot of child sacrificing stuff and blood, and oh, it was just it's so disgusting. So
Yeah,
I'm sure it is. And and they say, with all these conspiracies of Epstein, but they say um with him gone is the best thing, because they got to just they would have blocked, he would have had his lawyers and everybody would have blocked them from being able to just go in there and take over his island and do whatever they want. And now they
right.
can't do that. That's why the next day they were there. There was already everybody there looking at through everything, because if it wasn't
Well,
that way.
they've already found that others have been there beforehand, though, because
Oh, yeah.
some items that they consider evidence were missing.
Well,
But
I'm sure.
apparently, between the house in New York, the ranch in New Mexico, and the island, the ranch in New Mexico, he was actually going to use as a breeding farm
Yep.
as he
Yeah.
called, to spread his seed into the world.
Yeah, just
Uh,
watch Amazing Polly. You'll find out all kinds of things you don't want to know, but you should know. You should know what's going on, or what was going. Well,
yeah,
it's
I'm actually subbed to her.
yeah. She's
Uh,
really good at research. She's a Canadian, but she does a lot of good research.
right. Joshua,
Hi,
what is it?
Joshua.
Conyon is here. Good to see you. Um, a California critic. Hey there.
Oh, hi, California.
I'm a little impressed. Rygirl is here too. I'm impressed with the fact that we have people hanging out. Zebso is here.
Yeah.
Uh, I just don't you people realize the president is speaking? Not that I want you to leave. No,
These are
I'm
all our
quite
friends.
pleased.
These are our loyal friends right here.
They love us. They really love us. But anyway, so let me see. We've got
Thank you,
what is
Linda.
it? 45 after.
Yeah.
um, San Francisco sues President Trump administration over rules to limit legal immigration. Film at 11.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thankfully
I thought the night.
he's putting in all these judges just because he knows that's exactly every time he does anything they're gonna try to sue him for it, and it's gonna go to stupid Ninth Circuit Court, which is almost turned over now, which is almost turned conservative now, which is great.
That's what I was going to say. Isn't I thought he just seated 3 judges on the ninth. Do
Mhm.
they have that much of a majority that hasn't put a dent in it yet?
I think they just went. I don't know if they just went over the majority or, yeah, they have like a. They have. I don't know how many they have actually. I mean, I'm not. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, it was like almost all liberal judges, and they did that on purpose. It's California, so
Right.
I'm sure that they're all bought and paid for. So he had to put as many as he could in there, to get them. I mean, the Supreme Court now is almost that way too. So he's got, if he can't get the Ninth Circuit, they go to the Supreme Court, but he doesn't want to have to do that every time, and they'll stop using them. They'll be going back to New York again. They'll be trying for New York. Although the last time they used New York, they didn't win. So
Right.
I'm hoping he's just got
Well,
enough judges in there.
what is the Chief Justice name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. For the Supreme Court.
Um, you had to ask me that.
See? Anywho, they found him on the flight logs to Pedophile Island. So
Oh,
that may be why he decided all of a sudden to approve Obamacare after he was
oh, I
adamant that
did
he
see that. Yeah, I
wasn't
don't
going
remember
to
his
approve
name
it.
though. Yeah, I saw his picture,
So
but I don't remember his name. I did see that.
somebody out here is going to see it. RBG is long gone. Well, yeah, but they've got her stuffed.
Yeah, they got
So
her. They got an AI of her.
what is going to
She
be
ended up
interesting to
burning.
me, though, is to find out if that woman died a long time ago and all this stuff has been being done in the Supreme Court, then that means the Supreme Court justices were complicit in this,
Alito.
and
Alito.
that's a real serious problem.
Alito.
Who?
That's his name. Alito. Judge
Who?
Alito. The
No,
Supreme Court.
no.
Oh, the
Um,
California critics said it's Alito.
okay, it's not. Lisa, do you know the Supreme Court justice's name? Huh? Not Edwards. It's ridiculous. I can't think of it.
John Robert.
Um, Roberts. I think it's Roberts, but I may be off. I don't know.
John
But
Roberts.
anyway, he was.
TV says John Roberts.
Um,
Good night, Lioness.
Fred says weekend at Bernie Ginsburg's. Yeah,
Yeah,
just throw the
exactly.
glasses on her and wave an arm once in a while. But anyway, what do you think of that possibility that the Supreme Court could be complicit in the game that's being played with her if it's been proven for a while that she's dead?
Um, well, I'm sure they were corrupt anyway. They were almost every one of them was a liberal, and I'm sure they still think, and they think that they had what's his name, Scalia, taken out. So
Scalia.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had him taken out because he wouldn't vote for them, probably vote with them.
Well, right. Well, here's an interesting little piece of information about Scalia. He was a devout Catholic, and Catholics do not get cremated. That's that just doesn't happen. So
Right. Well, they're
he
not.
was cremated within 12 hours of his discovery of death. They never did an autopsy, which also
Mm,
apparently his wife said they weren't allowed to do. But then when they interviewed her later, she really wanted it done. And the whole thing just stinks, just like
yeah.
this Jeffrey Epstein thing. And the people that are awake see this stuff pretty quickly without blurry mirrors.
Just like they're all freaking out because when Epstein died, nobody believed it. Not anybody. Everybody was like, "No way! There's no way he did. No way!" And so, they're like, oh, all these conspiracy theorists, they're trying to make it go the other way, and they just can't because everyone is like wants answers, and they're not giving any answers. So people are waking up.
Right. It's it's hard to be this awake surrounded by people, so many people that are still asleep. That's what I
Oh,
always
yeah.
say, because there's just, you can't have conversations outside of the conservative circle at all, because they just shut you down.
Well, and you can't even have a
But
conversation with them because if they say something, you ask them, well, why do you think that? And they have no answers. So they just get mad at you and cuss you out.
yeah,
And so, I mean, there are some, I'm sure there's a big group somewhere that still is on the, the, I don't know which way I should go thing, but the ones that are the most vocal, obviously, are the craziest. So it's kind of hard. Yes.
well, it's looking at these different people that are running for president and running from prosecution. That needs to be what it's called from now on. Instead of, they're not running to be president, they're running from prosecution, because they think while they're running that they're protected. It says Colorado's Hickenlooper may drop presidential bid to return to the Senate race.
Hmm.
Um, Another
I
one
thought
is
once they declared they
Democrat.
were I thought once they declared they were running, they had to give up that position.
Well, not necessarily, but here's an interesting one about uh, what's this stupid name? The one that wants to nuke everybody that doesn't turn over their guns.
Newsom?
No, he's a smirky little twit.
Oh,
Uh,
Beto? No, it's the
no,
Staywell. Swalwell.
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 Yeah,
Yeah, swallows well.
yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
well, when he decided to run for president, he made it clear. He says, "I am surrendering my seat
Well, I
in
thought
the
they
Senate
had
or
to.
wherever he is." Well,
I
they
thought
don't
they.
though
I guess
until
not.
they. Yeah, but what he did was he specifically surrendered his seat and did the paperwork for it and everything. So they were going to do a special election to fill his seat. Well,
Hmm.
when he saw that there was no popularity at all, he went crying and whining to his one of his favorite judges, an Obama appointee, and had it rewritten and so that he could get his seat back. So I think that's
That's
just
wrong.
criminal. But it's another
Yeah.
example. They get around
California
things.
does whatever they want. Is he over in California? Is that where he is?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's inside in it's inside the Congress too. I mean, they
Right.
shelter each other.
Oh yeah.
They just write the rules as they go along.
Well, they don't want a Republican taking it over because, well, he's still going to have to run again whenever his term is up. I guess is that what he's just going back to his term and then he'll have to run again.
Right.
And hopeful.
All
Well,
right. Well,
I can't say anything about California. You
we
never
are
know
at.
what they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, if it's stupid, you can bet they'll do it. I want to top this hour off with the subject that's near and dear to my heart, and that is the red flag laws. As you know, we have them in Florida.
Yes.
Um, Tell me what you think about it, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about it.
Well, I think there's not any. I work with the mentally ill, so there's a lot of people that should not have a gun because they are. I mean, if they're not on their meds, I have actual clients that are they've been they're forensic clients and they've killed people. They've killed their mother. They've killed their father. So I do get that part of it because I'm in that. But that's all like these people have been mentally ill all their life and it's very well documented. So and none of them have I mean none that I have ever I mean they had one obviously well most of them don't kill them by gun anyway like they usually stab them to death so,
Right.
or something like that
Okay.
strangle them or stab them or something but so I do understand that part for mental illness but the way it's written I'm not sure how it's written but like Trump made a perfect point with Cuomo anybody can just say you know I mean that's leaving it open to your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend can go call the police and say he tried to kill me and he's crazy he takes medication and they can go and take your guns. I think we have a person in here and he's not in here tonight but we have a person in Florida named Jeff who had his guns taken away. Now, granted, he did show his gun and threatened to kill the guy. The guy had killed his son. Um, but the way they handled it and everything, they actually apologized. They Baker acted him because they wanted a diagnosis. But he ended up, they apologized. I forget what happened. His lawyer got on them, and they ended up apologizing. He was out of there in 12 hours instead of it's a 72-hour hold for a Baker Act. He was out in 12 hours. They sent him a letter of apology. They apologized to him then. But he still had his guns taken away for a year. And then he said he has to go to the court and petition to get them back he has to wait till the 1-year anniversary, and he can get them all back. And then every year a judge has to sign off on that. So they check him again to make sure nothing's happened, and he has to make sure he does it, he said. So I'm just taking it from this person. I don't know if that's how it is, but so there's just too much. There's way too much somebody's interpretation. There's not. I mean, I haven't actually seen the actual law to see what it says, but that's what I'm hearing from everybody, that, yeah, somebody can just call on you and have your guns taken away. So what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen, and I've talked to a lot of people, everyone's going to have unregistered guns because that's what they're going to do. And here in Florida, we can have, if you inherit it or buy it privately, you don't have to register it. So a lot of people are doing that. Yes, Uncle Reggie.
I just wanted to say real quick that CLC jumped in here. Good to see you. And also WTF got in here.
Yeah, and Uncle Reggie.
Yep, Uncle Reggie, there he is. Anyway, so I want to give my little 2 cents on it, and then we'll do our farewells to everybody for the evening. Here's my biggest problem with red flag laws. It's very targeted. If you listen to what they say, about every third sentence that they're talking about a red flag law, they talk about veterans.
Yes.
Well, the veterans are the primary security of the homeland. And some people say, oh, no, it's the military. No, it's not the military. The military is deployed. A very large percentage of the military is not in country. So the primary protector of the homeland are the military veterans. We're the ones that are going to get up and go. You know, we're trained to go to the fight. We're not trained to duck and hide. So this red flag law targets veterans, because if you take somebody's life, then you already have a level of mental disorder. It takes a very special person to be able to take life and then to be able to continue living with that. And in their description of veterans, that's one thing they say, that they are completely nuts because they're willing to kill people.
But so why do they want? Why are they targeting you? Because you're the most trained.
Because we are the ones that will stand up to a tyrannical government, just like we will of an invading force.
Right.
And so, first off, as a military veteran, I have no fear. I'm not afraid of the system, and I'm not afraid of the people. And I'm also not worried about the cops coming and get my gun, because it'll be point blank. If you move on my weapons, you are disobeying your oath to the Constitution, and you have now declared yourself an enemy combatant. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, like you said, anybody can say that you have a problem, and then you get a knock on your door, and they're going to say, give them up. So then you get somebody, like in my case, I live on a disability, not by choice, but by, I am restricted. So I don't have the money to buy a lawyer and do all the things that need to be done to get it back. Therefore, if somebody comes for mine, they're gone and lost forever. There's no chance that I would ever get them back.
Fishing in that boat, remember?
Oh yeah, I threw mine in the Gulf a while ago. So yeah, I did that. So, but those are the things that I've got concerns with. That it's targeting veterans, and that it's also designed so that people of low income don't stand a chance of getting their weapons back. It disgusts me. I think it's a blatant attempt to override the Second Amendment. And I agree that some people don't need guns, But I also think that if you haven't committed a crime, then you don't need to be punished.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's my thought on it.
Yeah.
But
It's just pushing for
anyhow,
more. It's pushing for more and more government control over us.
yeah, well, it starts with a red flag law, and then they'll talk about a blue flag law, where if
Right. That's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
too
They'll keep
many,
pushing one
you
little
know,
inch at a time until they get what they want.
code blue, you only need one firearm to protect your whole family or whatever. I mean,
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but I kind of love weapons. I've trained on them now for
I'm
most of
going
my
to get
life. So
my concealed weapons next month, so I'll be buying a gun. So, yep.
I'm trying to find out where I can get a hold of an M1 Abram tank. I've already driven them before. They're fun as hell. They do about 70 miles an hour, and you can fire while you're driving. So I need one of those, and then I think that would top off my collection.
Thank you, Reg.
But anyway, so I think that has been a solid hour. We are 1 minute over. But I want to sincerely thank you, DM, for joining
Oh,
me.
thank you for
This has been a
having
lot of
me.
fun.
Yeah, thank you for having
Even
me.
though I lost my internet,
That's
it's
okay.
probably the Russians' fault.
I was ready to
But
show
anyway,
videos
so
of
give it.
something.
Well, yes, by all means, fill in the space, whatever you need to do. Um, one more time, tell everybody about yourself, and then we'll say goodnight to our people.
Donna, I live in Florida with my dog and my cat. I'm on the DMB report with History B. We do fun stuff instead of all the negative stuff because there's enough of that. I work.
Yeah, there's enough of me to
I
go around.
Yeah, I work for a Jewish nonprofit. I work with the mentally ill every day. Um, that's probably about it right now. And I love my president. And we'll
Well,
be
good
voting
on you.
again.
Yeah, we've got to get him back in, even though he says some things that are a little nerve wracking.
There's
There is
no
no
alternative.
alternative.
So there's no alternative. So
Pocahontas snuck in here. I see her right there at the top of the chat. I got you
yep.
before it disappeared over the top. All right, so I will say thank you very, very much to everybody that's been here. I appreciate my mods doing the work that they
Yes, thank you
do.
for still being here.
Um,
I know Joe's live.
yeah, well, we're going to jump over to Joe's here in a second. But
Yep.
again, thank you all very much. Make sure you check up my backup channels, BitChute. I'm on Parler now. Links are in the description below. And again, this is the political chat and our special guest DM.
Thank
And
you
I hope
very
to see
much.
you guys again
Very,
next
very much.
Thursday.
I was very honored.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast. I'm still trying to get a special headliner for next week, but I'll let you know throughout the week as that goes forward. But anyway, until next time, y'all, you know what I always say, stay in the fight.
God bless you all. Thank you for being here.